Hi guys, it's me, Justin again, and for this video that I will be dedicating to Independence Day in 2026, I would like to wish everyone out there in Internet land a very happy and safe 4th of July this year. So yay! Now, I was wondering what movie I should cover this year for the momentous occasion being the nation's 250th birthday. And I figured that because I already reviewed Independence Day and I reviewed Independence Day Resurgence. Yeah, unfortunately I talked about that one too. I figured, what other movie I should review that's not directly Independence Day related. So I figured maybe we'll talk about a movie that embodies freedom and embodies some kind of culture in America during a time when freedom was being somewhat repressed. So I figured to talk about the ultimate counterculture movie set in the 60s, Easy Rider. Now, this movie came out in the 69. So before anyone gets on my back for saying for being all giggity crazy about it, I'm talking about the year 1969. And this is important that it came out in that year because it embodied and it was able to absorb all the counterculture of all the decade of the 60s. And when I say that, I'm not talking about just biker culture and things of that nature. But it also incorporated the drug culture of the 60s, as well as the free love movement. And yeah, that was all under the heading of freedom, in which people were free to do a lot more things than they are currently. And yeah, culture has certainly changed since the roaring of the 60s. Now, you gotta admit, it's taken me a while to actually see this movie. I mean, it's taken me a real long time figuring that I would consider my scooter, as well as other scooters around me, to be like mini motorcycles. So that there are plenty of other people that would feel the same way too. But this movie was the definitive biker movie for a long time. Probably even more so than modern bikes and modern culture and stuff like that. And definitely an American phenomenon, because I don't see any Japanese crack truckers or any type of foreign vehicles in this movie. It's very iconic, very Americana, very patriotic. In fact, Peter Fonda's character, Wyatt, is so patriotic. He's even got a American flag on the back of his leather jacket, as well as I think there were motifs of American flag all over the gas tank of his motorcycle. as well as he had a flag imprint on his helmet, which for some reason I have no idea why, but they always portray him riding around on a motorcycle with the helmet on the back of his seat. You know, I would consider kind of a hazard to be, if I had to make a guess, and a little bit illegal too, but apparently these beggars don't really care about that kind of thing. And I think that Dennis Hopper actually wore his helmet more than what Wyatt did. In fact, Dennis Hopper's character was Billy in this movie. And they even got Jack Nicholson in this one too as George Hanson. The only character that has a last name, I have no idea why, what they do. And then he's also got a special helmet on. But when he puts on the helmet in later scenes, it looks like you know those special ed people with like those really big oversized helmets for extra protection? It looks like that for some reason. Maybe I'm thinking of the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But that's kind of funny. Anyway, he plays a guy that's in prison at first. And I'm like, no, that's not him. That's not him at all. And then they were like, yeah, that's him, alright. I didn't even know he was in this movie. And they even got Tony Basil in this movie. Now, for those of you who don't know, she's the main performer who performed the song Oh Mickey. Yeah, that chilling song. So, yeah, she's in this movie too as a very promiscuous woman who has sex with Miss Fonda's character, Wyatt, in a cemetery. Now, I will do it anyway, but there was some places that I won't tread. And that'd be cemetery and church. I don't know. I mean, there's no actual law against it, but it's kind of like, that's, kind of going into dangerous territory, doing in religious buildings like that. I don't know, I never got the idea that my father, on the hand, that's where he made Snoo for the first time in his life. Maybe that could be why he wanted to get out of the sea in the worst way possible. Because he was afraid of God's wrath or some kind of spiritual reckoning or something about it. But anyway, when I said that this movie was iconic Americana, I just wasn't thinking about the whole imagery of the scene, the beautiful sunsets, the beautiful American scenery, the beautiful American Southwest. How even the extras in this movie are portrayed by either Native Americans of the Southwest or Mexican Americans. It's kind of hard for me to tell which one it is because they look so similar, so to me. But yeah, that's very nice. Especially when they go into like a farming community, like these people, these hardworking people. Now, yeah, this is very iconic and stuff. But there's also that you have iconic American music. For example, Goddamn the Pusher Man by Stevie Ray Vaughan. Back drugged, obviously. I wanted to think would name it so after the little guy that puts the carts out to the elephants that make their business in parades and such. And there's also the classic American song Born to Be Wild by Steppenwolf. Very iconic song. I mean, I thought that they just made music videos out of it. I know they actually put this song in the movie, directed by Dance Hopper or something. So I was really into making this movie, Billy and Wyatt. This movie is very good, although I wouldn't have teenagers watching this. This is a R-rated movie for a reason. So there's death, there's violence, there's sex and drugs. So I don't think that kids or teenagers would be allowed in this movie. But let me just say that I think that Peter Fonda, Luke Quinn's outfit, had very good hair for this movie too. Yeah, and the bike itself was iconic too. No wonder what they made reference to in Ghost Rider. But let me just say that there's something else I didn't know about the 60s. I know that there were a bunch of like World War I, possibly World War I, but World War II, and Korean War veterans, and they deserve a much respect and honor and that kind of thing. But early in the movie, they actually showed like a hotel or a motel, I forgot which one it was, I can't tell the difference really. But they actually have like discrimination against bikers. Probably because they probably didn't, bikers are like known for being bad hombres in the past, especially in this decade, like with all the drug charges, all the beating them, the robberies and stuff. You could see how that would mean bad things. So what they do is they put they have them being thrown out by the manager, I guess. Saying they don't have any vacancies and whatnot. So they end up having to sleep under the stars, which is kind of romantic in a certain way, until you find a scorpion crawling up your bum hole. So that's not very pleasant. There's also a part where Wyatt ends up picking up a hitchhiker, which is something that I would never do. Like ever. I would never pick up a hitchhiker because it could be very bad and very deadly. But my favorite hitchhiker scene in any movie was when Joe Dirt, her little son, that says, "I won't kill you." That was hilarious. He entered in this one, but it was hilarious. So anyway, they pick up a hitchhiker, and this is the way this doesn't work out too well, because when you're a guy driving a bike, you're sitting proud, you're sitting nice on a bike, but then you got the hitchhiker, which is the guy behind you on the bike. When you got certain vibrations, certain things can happen, and that'd be a very bad thing for someone to like that kind of thing. So that'd be a bad move. Plus, until the government's looking at redistribution problem there, whatever. I would never ride a bike with two people on it. Unless they got like a sidecar on it in the bike. But anyway, it's nice seeing some nice scenery of the American Southwest. Like I said, very iconic. You also get some cool sunset scenes, people waving and such. Also, the little town where they go through, and they go through like buddy, having a cool time with your friend and all that. And there are some people that just random people waving at you. I don't know if that's a thing nowadays, but back then, people were more friendly, people were more laid back, and more liberal when it came to certain things. So that was actually pretty nice. They also go to a farm, like I said before, with greeted by their friends and their loved ones, and they have a cool dinner with them. And then they go into the kind of parade, like a high school parade. And that's very funny, but to actually keep up with the parade, being the procession, they actually have the two men walk their bikes in the procession. So you actually see them awkwardly doing like a crab walk with the bikes in between the legs. And it's actually pretty funny to see that. Kind of awkward too. And also, it's also pretty cool that Wyatt actually used his gas tank as like a way to store his money. I don't know if that's the thing that bikers really did in real life, but that's pretty cool to do that. And let's see what else there. They dropped off the hitchhiker at the farm. They did the parade, and for some reason the parade was a way for the two of them to get locked up. I guess it must have been some kind of trapper or something, some kind of speed trapper, whatever, for the two guys. They were just having fun with just going around doing fun things on the highway, cruising on the highway. They were minding their own business. They might have been smoking a few joints. Which is another thing I got a question, that kind of thing. Driving a motorcycle requires a lot more attention when it comes to driving around. Much more than a car or a three-wheel vehicle. Because you need to be on alert, for the weight distribution and all the bumps and the stuff to do with that. So, can't be drunk, you can't be high or anything like that when you're doing it. Otherwise, you have that much more risk to do with that in the car. You can also lose your balance too quickly. So there's a lot more to do with than a four-wheel vehicle. But then carrying is fun. And there's also no problem I have with that for me. And it's more of a technical thing. And it's more or less like when they having the sex scene between the two guys and the two women that they have. And that being that the person who is edited the movie is more like let's see, it's quick editing. editing, how to put this, there's one part, then there's another part, and there's another part, and then another, and then another part, and then another one. That's the whole last like 2 seconds a piece. So it's almost like you were having a seizure while looking at this. So there are many times where they do that. The scene in the movie where they cut from nighttime to dark to light. And it's actually kind of annoying. It's kind of like he's having a dream of some kind. It's kind of awkward and kind of weird and fast. Let's see here. So then they go to prison. They meet up with George, aka Mr. Jack Torrance. Because let's face it, Jack Nicholson will always be known as Jack Torrance or the Joker or another madman. So anyway, they show him going on with him like a kind of like a Three's Company type of thing. And eventually, when it came out on the Starshine, they actually show him actually fighting with Peter Fonda with Wyatt or Billy. I forgot which one it was. But then they end up taking him out because I guess he must have stole the money or something. Which is such a delight. There's a reason why he's in prison. Because he probably robbed somebody or beat somebody up for the money or something. And there's a scene in the movie where they kind of Amy kind of uncomfortable, where they go into a cafe, and they're clearly older, they're again 30s or 40s years old, and you see a bunch of girls talking about them, and look, kids are teenagers, maybe 20-year-old, and they're like making all kind of sexual gestures about the girls. And that's kind of disturbing. The bunch of grown men talking about young girls like that. So in any case, they end up leaving the cafe with no actual interaction with them except outside the against the big fight. Basically, and then Wyatt and Billy end up going into the friend's place, which is basically like a big brothel, and they end up talking to women, and women being the aforementioned Tony Basil of Mickey fame, and then they decide to do it in the cemetery, and that's when the editing really becomes a problem, because then they do one shot here, one shot there, one shot here, one shot there. It's a mess. Let's see. They do doubles, the 69 position. Well, yeah, there's one song in particular that they do in this movie called Don't Bogart the Joint. And for those of you who don't know what that means, is when you Bogart something, when you Bogart a joint or a cigarette or something, it means you're a hog. You keep the cigarette in your mouth till it's almost gone. When you Bogart a woman, it's still implied to. But we're not going to get into that. So that's real funny. And what is more funny is that this entire movie, copy that I saw on download, was all in French. I swear to God, every thing that came out of this mouth was in French. It's all fine and dandy, except the songs were in English. So I'm sure that anyone that knows just French probably saw this movie. They were like, "Oh boy, I can't understand this. God damn it! Well, all these songs in language I can't understand. It sounds good, but I can't understand the look of it." So that's pretty funny. But I will say that the only time that the French actor came in handy was during the orgy scene at the end with the cemetery. That was the only time that I felt that it was appropriate. Okay, now, this movie is all well good, with two guys having fun and stuff out on the open road, riding side by side, because that's the law and stuff, that you can do that, you can ride to astride each other. But, yeah, this movie has a very tragic ending to it, because two rednecks see these two gentlemen doing nothing wrong, doing nothing but just riding and enjoying life and everything. They decided to come up to him, still driving their motorcycles, and somebody shot that nice man on the motorcycle. First it was Billy on the side, and then it was Wyatt turned around and went to go see his buddy on the ground, and he ended up putting his jacket on him. Someone he got it with shot dead. His friend. So Lenny was like, I'm gonna get revenge on these guys. I'm gonna get revenge from my friend Billy. So he gets on his bike and it's about real hard to get these two guys. And the revenge story only took 2 minutes because afterwards the guy shot him with a shotgun and he shot him right in the face driving. And for some reason they maintained the gas tank or something because the entire bike blows up and disintegrates into pieces and killing Wyatt, of course. And that was so tragic. I think what happened was the two in the truck thought that maybe Wyatt and Billy were gay because there were two men riding with each other. So that was wrong, and they looked kind of inbred. So little redneck pair. So I think that maybe they shot them because they were either they thought they were gay or they hated bikers. But it was terrible that somebody shot those nice young men. I mean, it is tragic that both Pathfinder and Dennis Hopper really did die in real life, but that's really kind of offensive in this case. But I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the soundtrack. It had more country music too. In fact, there's one part where they go into commune of all places. They have very liberal sex with the women, and in fact, they end up going to from the commune to like a more secluded, like waterfall area in which they have more fun outside in the water and stuff. And Billy ends up trying to take multiple women at one point. And it's actually pretty funny. I don't know if Wyatt actually has sex with women over there at the time, but it's nice that he would just have fun in the water with the women. Well, they were actually showed more of the hippie culture too. Complete with nice Volkswagen bus too. Very cute, very adorable, very rustic. And it was actually really nice to see this movie. Besides the French language, well, it was very nice. It encapsulated all the counterculture of the 1960s. And all the glorious. With none of the bad things nowadays. Yeah, no to the right to invest, no nothing of that nature. But everything is nice, calm, and very collected. Kind of like what if you joined or drunk a bunch. But it was still pretty nice. Very calm, very emotionally calm, very soothing. Well, but the ending was just very quick. Within the last 5 minutes, they were both dead. That was kind of like a rush job. Like, you see less of life with two guys going to their friends, going to common, having relations with some people, having fun with them, then moving on to other pair of people, but sex with, and they have fun with, and all that stuff too. And then, boom, they were dead. That was it. But also, I have to point out that, Wyatt in this movie was wearing a psychedelic t-shirt, a psychedelic blouse type shirt that would make Austin Powers say, "Groovy baby." Anyway, this movie was pretty amazing. It was only an hour and a half long, but it was so good. The music was very appropriate. The country music was great. With about some time. And it was very far out, if you will. And I like the way that the cameras, they were all lined up for each one. Guys and the girls were lined up very properly. I have no idea why. That would be cool. So, I thank you for watching my review of the cult classic of the counterculture era of the 60s, Easy Rider. It was a very spectacular movie, and it is for America's 250th 4th of July celebration. Yay for that. It was excellent. I definitely with this movie. A happy face of approval because it was awesome. It was like time. It defined a generation. It was awesome. This movie. Yes, even in French. If you guys like what you see here, you want more of my stuff, you know, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me for future information on my videos by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707, or if you'd like to reach me by follow me on Twitter or X for Cortez at P. Nelson Pro. Also, you cannot get my email by email me at jkidsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, I salute all you war veterans out there, all you bikers out there, all you nice people out there who just want to have fun, enjoy this kind of culture movement of this movie. Peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video, all you girls and guys in Interland. Ciao, ciao, me saying sayonara.